I feel really traumatised by, like, the last couple of months. And, like, when I see him, I see all that trauma. I am angry at him and I am very hurt.
We all watched Molly-Mae's documentary, but I feel like there were so many things that were probably missed, that people just aren't talking about. So let's unpick it, let's discuss. So the first thing I want to talk about here is criticism. I feel like everyone, particularly the younger generation, love to idolise being famous, they love to idolise being an influencer, but one of the things that they don't often think about is criticism and how important that is for success. Any successful person that you see, whether that be a brand owner, whether that be a musician, whatever it may be, they have to face a lot of criticism, and that was a recurring theme. She spoke about the fact that she was getting negative DMs, she spoke about the fact that people were just unpicking her clothes, and she actually agreed with some of it as well.
Literally, the fabric has just bobbled absolutely everywhere on these insides, so I'm not impressed. I'm really disappointed. I'm going to figure out what I can do. Look, you can see the inside here as well.
She received so much backlash being a public figure. No matter whether you're in the public eye or no matter whether you are just a normal person that's not a celeb and you're trying to make it, you have to be prepared to get a lot of criticism. You have to be prepared for people to just unpick you. But one of the things that she did was remained focused throughout all of the negativity, because it was something that she was passionate about and wanted to do. The lesson that we can take from that is that you need to be able to build resilience in the face of judgment, in the face of criticism. A lot of people these days are so weak. They will cave and crumble when somebody starts to unpick them and say negative things. If you really want something, you need to be hungry for it and you need to keep going. And that is what is so important. The next thing to talk about here is being authentic over trying to be perfect. We live in this social media world where everybody just wants everything to be perfect 100% of the time. But one of the things that she spoke about in that documentary are her insecurities, particularly around audience and getting social anxiety. It's such a human thing, it's so normal, but people often try to cover that up. They often try to lie about the fact that they might be feeling anxious, or they lie about things that they're going through. It's not necessarily the way forward, because it's just not true. Everybody faces some sort of anxiety when doing something new or when being in front of people. It's only normal. But the best thing is that she didn't cover it up. She talks about the pressures of having this perfect body image and perfect looks, and that is one of the biggest pressures that girls, not even just girls but guys as well, like everybody faces this. The lesson here is just making sure that you are celebrating your individuality rather than forcing yourself to strive for an unrealistic standard. 3, it's taking risks. Taking risks and owning that decision. Her career moves, going into Love Island, yes, okay, it does seem like one of those shows where anyone can just walk in and they can become a celebrity, but actually think about it. If you've got cameras on you 24/7, that's not going to be fun. It's so important to step out of your comfort zone, and I see this happen all the time with so many friends or just peers and people I know that are too afraid to step into the person that they want to be because they are so concerned about what other people might think of them. They're concerned about what the outcome is going to be. But sometimes you do need to take a risk, you do need to take a gamble, because it brings you out of your comfort zone. You don't know the connections you'll meet, you don't know the opportunities it will bring. You close yourself off when you stay in your comfort zone. The lesson that we get from this is that bold decisions lead to transformative growth. Make a bold decision. Stop being afraid to do something because you're worried about the outcome and what people are going to think. If you have a burning desire to do something and an opportunity comes forward, you make sure you take it and you grab that bull by the horns.
All I ever wanted was to get married. Suddenly overnight, every part of my life changed. The last couple of months has been like the worst couple of months of my life.
Relationships, relationships, relationships. Walking away from a relationship that doesn't serve you any longer. She walked away from a relationship where even herself, she thought that she was going to be in this relationship forever. I guess like half the world thought that they were going to be together forever. But she walked away from a relationship that wasn't serving her and it wasn't good for her. So many women do not do that. And you'll see that in like one of my older videos as well, where I talk about setting boundaries and I talk about being single and happy, because so many people are afraid to do that. She could have stayed with Tommy Fury. She could have stayed with him because he's a boxer. He's world famous. Why wouldn't you want to stay with him? But at the same time, she wasn't happy, and she knew that in order for her to achieve that happiness deep down, this was the best decision. Let's even talk about social media and mental health. Molly-Mae was so open about dealing with trolls. There was even a clip where her dad was talking about the fact that he had logged onto her Instagram and he had seen some vile messages from trolls and people on there. Social media, I think we all need to agree, yes, it can have its benefits. As much as it is a tool, it can be so detrimental and it can be the opposite. But it is down to you as the individual to make the stand, to put that boundary in, to make sure that you're consuming the right things, that you are not allowing things that are negative into your space and into your life, and you're not absorbing it. Mute accounts, unfollow accounts if it's not serving you, if it's bringing you negativity, if it's not motivating you. You shouldn't be looking at that. Protect your mental well-being and prioritise self-care over just sitting there and scrolling on social media. So many things could be learnt from that documentary. There were so many key points that I think people were missing out on from there, and there are a lot of lessons that can be learnt from documentaries like this. Yes, okay, it's meant to show us the inside world and what Molly-Mae's like, but I think actually one of the things that it's highlighted is actually the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and actually life can be very difficult. And finally, anything can happen and anything can change at any point in time. One of the things that she mentioned was that she never in a million years dreamed that her and Tommy weren't going to be together. I think this kind of reaffirms the idea that actually anything can change at any point in your life. Don't take your life for granted, because things can change. Anything can happen because nothing is promised for you. Just be grateful every day of all of the things and the people and the opportunities that you have in your life, because you never know what's going to change. Thank you guys for watching my video. If you loved this video, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and you have a look on my Instagram as well, where I post a little bit more about my day-to-day life. If you have any comments or you even identified other things that you learned from that video, please make sure you comment them down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!